The front door clicks shut. The backpack hits the floor with a heavy thud. The metal zippers jingle against the wood. You're waiting with a smile, but in your mind, you're holding a clipboard. How was the math test? Did you finish the project? You think you're showing interest, but here's the scary part. To your child, this isn't a conversation. It's a performance review. They stand there, still in their coat. Their hands grip the backpack straps, palms slightly sweaty. They scan your face to check the weather. Their brain scans the day like a search engine. They are preparing their lines, reciting a script they've already learned by heart. And they remember this clearly. Your eyes only truly light up. You're only truly present when there's a number, a trophy, a result. Not for the human standing in front of you. So they start to edit. They bury the C- under a familiar phrase, played like an old broken record. Everything was fine. You aren't raising a child anymore. You're raising an anxious actor, terrified of forgetting their lines in their own home. Here's the thing. When love feels like a performance-based contract, the child stops growing. They just start camouflaging. And the cost? They stop being real, just to be enough. I hate my teacher, they mutter, kicking their shoes into the corner. Their face is flushed with frustration. You're already there, fast, like a fire extinguisher ready to put out any emotional flames. Don't say hate, you're just frustrated. She's a good person. You think you're teaching them kindness. You think you're building character, but the truth is more painful. You interrupted before they even understood the feeling themselves. You edited their story, starting with the very first word they chose. You didn't allow them to experience the messiness of the emotion. You wanted it labeled with something more comfortable for you, and they realize it. Their big emotions, the rage, the pain, the disappointment, they have no home in this house. So they stop bringing the storms home. They hand you a weather report, always sunny. That's when everything changes. They choose silence rather than being corrected one more time. When an emotion is rejected, the soul begins to lock the door. The truth doesn't disappear, it just moves out. They will find somewhere else to hate, someone else to tell about the storms, and that person won't be you. Why can't you hang your coat up like your sister does? When I was your age, I already had a job. It sounds like a nudge, a little comparison to spark some motivation, but they hear something else. That is when their true self begins to disappear. Every comparison is a brick, cold and heavy. You stack them up, one by one, building a very quiet wall between you. I'd love you more if you were someone else. And their brain learns fast, lightning fast. There is something about me that is wrong, that is not enough. They stop looking at their own feet. They start looking at the leaderboard. You are no longer a safe place to be real. You are a measuring stick. And they spend their entire childhood chasing a version of themselves that doesn't exist. A ghost you built and called their future. Stop for a second. Have you ever felt small in front of a measuring stick? And then the frog jumped, they say. Their eyes light up. Their small hands animate a leap in the air. You nod. Your hands are busy putting wet dishes on the rack. Your eyes are on the screen, scrolling through a news feed. Yeah, that's cool, honey. Then a notification pops up, a tiny red dot on the screen. You look down, just for a second, but they see it. They see everything. They see clearly. They just lost to a thing that can't even speak. They just lost to a glowing block of plastic and glass. And they remember that. They store it in a secret cabinet in their heart. They learn their value by where you place your eyes. If your phone gets more eye contact than they do, they get the message, I am priority number 2. So they stop knocking. No drama, no big fights. They just stop trying. Because no one wants to keep losing a game of attention. They're struggling with a tangled shoelace. Their fingers are clumsy. Their face is pinched with focus. You lean down, faster than the first tear, faster than your own patience. Let me do it, we're gonna be late. Done, fast, clean, perfect. You think you helped them. You think you're protecting them from the struggle. But you're wrong. Something else just happened. A quiet loss. An opportunity for them to feel capable just vanished. A small victory. A sense of autonomy that will never happen. And they understand. The message is sent without a single word. The hard stuff isn't for me. I'm not good enough to handle it. You aren't building a bridge for them to walk on, you're carrying them across. And bit by bit, confidence has no room to breathe. You are clipping their wings while telling them you hope they fly high. My boss is such a nightmare, you sigh, dropping onto the sofa, half joking, half exhausted. They sit there, feet not even touching the floor yet, listening. You tell them more, about the bills, about how hard it is to be a grown-up, about things that are too gray for a soul that still only knows crayons. You think it's bonding. You think you're treating them like a friend, but they are doing something else, something heartbreaking. They are trying not to worry you even more. They nod. They stay quiet. They start being too good. They shrink themselves so they don't take up any more space, any more of your energy, and you don't notice. A lead weight was just placed in their backpack. It's called emotional responsibility. They breathe in your stress. They sleep with your bills under their pillow. You can't see it, but it's heavy. It crushes the innocence of being a child. We are so obsessed with the future, college, career, survival. We treat childhood like a waiting room for the real world, but we forget this is the real world, right now. Maybe the best thing you can do is just sit down and fix nothing. Just listen. Listen to a 10-minute story about a purple dragon, even if you don't care at all. Laugh at a joke you've already heard. Stop and watch a bug crawling on the sidewalk with them. Things that are so small, so useless for a career, but that is where trust is built. The belief that I am loved for who I am, even when I produce 0 results. Slow, but real. Unconditional presence is the only cure for the distance. Your kid doesn't need a great manager. They need a place where they don't have to perform. Because underneath every "I'm fine," there is a silent question screaming in the dark. Do you love me when I have nothing to be proud of? The answer isn't in your words. You can't convince them with a speech. It's in the moment you stop, put the phone down, take a breath, and look. Truly look into those eyes. Look at them before one day you wake up and realize the person sitting in front of you, the person who carries your DNA, no longer wants to tell you anything at all. The paper bridge is fragile. It burns easily. It melts in the rain. But if you protect it with your presence, it will lead you into their heart forever.